Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you've all had a great week. I'm back again with another video. And this week we're doing another true or false myth busting video. So I hope you enjoyed the last one last time. And if you are enjoying these true or false videos, please let me know in the comments today. Um, but today's true or false question is true or false, you can still be sedentary even if you are exercising. And so the answer to that question is true. You can still be considered sedentary even if you are going to the gym for 30 minutes to an hour or even more. In fact, if you are sitting still for more than 9 hours a day, you're going to be sedentary. So, considering that most people that I work with and that I know of, they work out maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day. But we also live in a world which is um, very sedentary, right? A lot of us have jobs that don't involve us doing any kind of physical activity at all. So we work out for an hour a day. Hopefully, you are sleeping for 7 to 8 hours. And then the rest of the day, there's can be a lot of sitting. Right? We have work in front of a computer. We have driving. We have time we're eating, and we have, when we get home at night, what we want to do is relax in front of the TV and sit in the couch. So for many of us, we can easily be sedentary, even if we spend an hour at the gym each day. Um, just due to the fact of the way modern life has constructed things. Right? We don't have to physically move our bodies that much anymore for most of us. Now, if you're a construction worker, mail carrier, um, you do some type of physical labor like that, then obviously you're moving your body all day long. In which case, you're not sedentary for most of the day. But for a lot of people, including myself, you could easily sit uh, pretty much all day. Like especially for me, I work from home. I could sit down and work in front of my computer all day long if I wanted to and not move, and just walk back and forth to the kitchen and not really move around too much. So um, the downside, so you might be saying, well, what's wrong with if I don't move my body outside of my structured exercise? Well, there's a lot of just data. Like we're going to start off with the big one here. Like the more sedentary you are, the greater increase in all-cause mortality we see. Like there's a nice linear correlation between the amount of time you are not moving your body and your risk of dying from literally anything out there. And then we have things like the fact that the other impacts that being sedentary have on your health include just like metabolic health. Like the more you're moving your body, the more you are causing your muscles to move, the better for your metabolism, regulation of your blood sugar. Just using, the cells inside your body produce energy, right? These things all matter when you're moving your body, because moving your body requires energy. And then just the link of sedentary time to all kinds of other things like chronic diseases, cardiometabolic health, cancer, stroke, all these things have strong links to being sedentary, right? So, in general, we don't really see any health benefits from having more time being sedentary, right? So, what should we shoot for, right? Like, what kind if you're someone who likes numbers or things to target as far as reducing your sedentary time, what should we shoot for? So, like I said, if you're sitting more than 9 hours a day, then you're considered sedentary. So the first thing I would say is like reduce your sitting time, right? If you're sitting in a chair, you gotta get up and move your body. What counts as enough movement to break up that sitting time? You're not gonna find very specific numbers there, but I'd say if you're moving your body, you know, for 10 minutes or so, like that, you probably broke up that sedentary time. So try to get down to the point where you're sitting for less than 9 hours straight and that you can, break up that time with some type of 10 minutes of moving. Now, what kind of movement do we encourage here, right? I'm not talking about doing 10 minutes of a hard workout, sprinting or riding a bike or running or whatever. You just got to move your body, right? It doesn't have to be hard or strenuous. The classic all-time favorite is walking, right? If you can find some way to walk around, I know that can be challenging depending on your work situation and whatnot, but if you can find ways to inject movement, such as walking is the easiest, most accessible thing to do for most people. That is my preferred form of movement throughout the day. But walking is not the only option, right? It could be you do just some basic body weight movements. Maybe you do a little bit of yoga, maybe you do a little bit of light stretching, maybe doing some air squats or some push-ups. Maybe you can stick some if you're confined with an office, you can stick some type of small weight in there with you, like a kettlebell, just a simple light kettlebell or a simple dumbbell. Maybe you can rig up you can bring some bands with you. I know you're going to look like a weirdo in the office with the weight and the kettlebell and the bands and whatnot in your office if you want to add some resistance, but doing some lunges, body weight lunges without anything, but having those things around to just assist in breaking up that movement is going to help, right? If you're confined and you can't walk. So there's lots of different options. It doesn't have to be walking, but you can, find one that works for you, right? Um, and if you're worried about, like what, metrics as far as, I'm so far away from, like, I sit, say you sit 14 hours a day, you're so far away from nine, like it seems hopeless to even get there, right? Don't worry about it. Like start slow, right? So if you can whittle that number down, if you're at 14 hours of sedentary time, you can whittle that number down to 12 hours for a few weeks, and then work towards 10 hours, and then get down to 9 hours eventually over the course of several months. That's great, right? Don't try to bite the whole thing off at once, etc. So the other thing I would say, for those that like to track as well, is I like to use steps as just a metric. And again, if you're doing some of these, body weight or strength based kind of movement breaks, that type of stuff, um, it's not going to be captured so well in your steps. So this isn't, a golden rule per se, but I like to shoot, and research suggests that if you're getting between 7,500 steps up to 10,000 steps a day, that's probably your sweet spot, right? There's been some more research that's come out recently that says like up to 17,000 steps a day shows some benefit, but with all these things, more is not better. I think if you go from if you're relatively sedentary and you're getting like 2,000 steps a day, and you increase that up to 5,000 steps a day, you're going to see massive impacts from across the board on your health. As you start to move up that scale from 5,000 to 7,000, yeah, you'll see some changes. 5,000 to 10,000, 7,000 to 10,000, you'll see a little bit more changes. But I think as you start to get up into the 12, 13, 14, 15, 17,000 steps, you're probably going to start to see diminishing results. And then it becomes a problem with time, right? Because a lot of people are, one of the reasons why people are sedentary is because they don't have time to move around. So the time commitment starts to be a thing. And so the cost on your time and the benefits that you're going to get, additional benefits you're going to get by walking 17,000 steps a day is probably going to be small and might not be worth it for people. Now, if you can fit 17,000 steps in your day and you love walking and it's enjoyable to you and mentally it provides a lot of, other benefits besides just the physical health benefits, then go for it, right? I'm all for that. I'm one of those people. I love to walk. I get more than 15,000 steps a day on average, week after week after week. But that's just because I literally love walking, and I'm not walking 15,000 steps because of the health benefits. For me, I love the activity. I like being outside, and it allows me an opportunity to clear my mind, take a break, and there's lots of other stuff that I love about walking, just besides the health benefits that I'm getting from it. So if you're one of those people, great, but don't think that if you're it's a linear increase in benefits as you keep on going up that scale, because I don't think that's going to happen. And again, if you're someone who's walking 2,000 steps a day and in 10,000 or 7,000 steps seems like a mile away and it's impossible, don't shoot for 7,000 steps right away. Shoot for 3,000 steps, 4,000 steps, 5,000 steps, and slowly build up until you get to that period of time where you're hitting your 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Best advice I can give for you to get to that number: begin your day and cap your day with a walk. So start off your day with a walk, 10 to 20 minutes, end your day with a walk, 10 to 20 minutes. If you can throw in a walk midday, fantastic. That's also going to be great. I like to encourage clients to habit stack things. Every time you eat a meal, either before or after you eat your meal, you go for a walk, right? And there's just a whole bunch of benefits here. But if you get out for a 20-minute walk 3 times a day, you're going to be so close to that 7,000, 10,000 step number. It's going to be silly. So if you can finagle that into your lifestyle, get the family involved. We do a lot of family walks, especially on the weekends when the kids are home. It's great. The kids bring their bikes, they bring their scooters. They don't necessarily walk all the time, but there's lots of ways to do this, right? And so it's benefits for the whole family. So that's what I would say. As far as this topic, like, oh, and the other thing I'll add in here is that there's one additional benefit that we should keep in mind that I think is hugely important when we are talking about being sedentary. Is when we get the proper amount of physical activity, and this is not just exercise, it is, like I'm saying, exercise plus proper amount of movement throughout the day, so you're not considered sedentary. We see a nice regulation in appetite. So there's been plenty of studies that have been done on sedentary time and movement and how hungry people are throughout the day. If you sit more, generally you're going to be hungry more, right? I think a lot of that just has a lot of it to just keeping your mind busy. You're not, when our minds are busy and we're physically moving our bodies, I think we just generally regulate. We're not thinking about food as much, and we're obviously not near food per se. Now, if you're walking by, a very tasty bakery or something like that, that might be hard. But in general, if you're getting enough movement out of your day, you're less likely to be thinking about the food. Your mind's less likely to wander, that type of thing. And so that probably plays a strong role as well. But I also think that the body just physically is the human body's meant to move. Our ancestors, their only option was to move all the time, and so we evolved with moving, and that helps regulate our appetite. And I strongly believe that we just need to find a way to replicate that today in today's modern world. So, whatever way you can do that, whether it's walking, whether it's bike riding, or whether it's doing some body weight workouts in your office, or swinging kettlebell, or bands, or TRX, or whatever throughout the day, is going to be beneficial, not only just from a health perspective as far as your risk of all-cause mortality, chronic diseases, metabolic health, that type of stuff, but also just regulating your appetite so you're going to eat less food. And that's going to be a win in both directions. So, yes, you can be sedentary even if you work out. And a good rule of thumb is for you to shoot for at least 9 hours or less of sitting per day. And if you want to track steps, I would say, shooting for 7,500 steps to 10,000 steps per day is probably good. More would probably add a little bit more benefits, but you're going to start to see decreasing benefits with the increase in time and steps that you take. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this little myth busting video. And if you are enjoying these videos, like I said, please let me know in the comments below. Happy to hear feedback on things. If you have questions, please leave them in the comments below or shoot me a message. As always, if you want to keep up with all of the content that I put out, both including these videos as well as blog posts and short snippets of actionable information, please join my newsletter. You can scan that QR code here in the upper corner of the video. That'll be brought to my website, where you can then enter your email address and sign up for the newsletter, and I will email you every time I post something, which is a couple times a week. And if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, you want to put some of these things to practice that I've been talking about, please reach out to me. Again, you can go to my website, rjbhealth.coach. Click on the schedule discovery call button on the homepage and fill out the form, and that will send me an email, and I will email you back, and we can talk a little bit more about coaching. Or you can just reach out to me. You can find me on the internet any number of ways, and just shoot me a message and tell me you're interested. I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon.